Funny you should mention Zach, Ned. You'd probably have great sex with his wife.
Yeah!
So the Try Guys have a new show called Squad Wars, where celebrity squads face off against each other.
But we just kind of assume that we're a good squad. We never actually proved it.
So we're gonna take a genetic compatibility test
To see if we actually truly are the ultimate squad. I can say with confidence that we are not. I don't need to spit in a vial to find that out.
We look at your genetic composition and how it affects your neurochemistry, and then we can actually predict who's going to be a good love relationship, who's going to be a good bromance, because we look at your genes.
Are we gonna find out if Zach and I are close friends, or if maybe Eugene and I should have sex? What do we find out here?
Yeah, I can tell you those things. We had geneticists look under a microscope so we could figure out your brain chemistry. We look at genes like oxytocin, dopamine, and we give a psychological profile test as well. Because relationships aren't just about your pure neurochemistry. You're born a certain way biologically, but then you're raised a certain way that also shapes your personality. So instant chemistry needs two things from you. First, we need you to take a very detailed psychological test.
All right, time to take a test to find out who's actually my friend.
So these are all questions of if you're in a relationship.
I'm gonna answer them thinking about my wife, which would just be great.
You're sitting together with your partner watching a movie on TV. You enjoy reaching out and touching. Oh, we're really getting into this quick.
Obviously, almost certain, yes.
Zach Kornfeld loves to cuddle.
Absolutely, we're hanging out, touching.
You get sweaty, you get tangled, your arm falls asleep. I'll say possibly.
You and your partner have taken a long weekend together at a nearby resort.
Guess we're rich now.
You promptly step up and speak to the management in an effort to upgrade.
I would love for somebody else to handle confrontation.
Yeah, it's a resort. You pay money. Almost certain. Yeah.
You're not doing it right if you're not getting free stuff.
Possibly.
I'm done.
Let's view the results of my psychological profile.
One of the things we looked at is who was more of an alpha male and who was more of a submissive. Two alpha males don't do well together. They're competing with each other so much and they don't get stuff done. If I had to ask the four of you to pick just one person who you think would be your best friend, if you were stuck on a desert island for a weekend, who would it be with?
Ned won't cooperate with me, but together we will get the most stuff done. Keith would get along the nicest.
Okay, interesting. And who would you choose?
Yeah, I would also choose Keith. Zach would find like issues. I would get so frustrated.
So what I'm going to reveal to you, Eugene and Ned come out the highest alpha males. And Keith and Zach come out as submissive. And generally, submissive males get along with alphas very, very well. Eugene, even though you said that if you were stuck on a desert island, it was Ned that you'd want to be with, the truth is you guys wouldn't survive because you'd get nothing done. Another part of the psychology test is intimacy. So you need to be open, honest, and vulnerable, right? So what I found is 3 of you are really predisposed to be able to have intimacy very easily, emotional intimacy.
I wonder who that 4th person is.
Who do you think that 4th could be, who's a little more reserved? What I learned about your psychological profile is that you actually really crave closeness and you desire intimacy, but you're really reserved and afraid to open up.
No. No. No.
Eugene, I never knew.
You just want us to love you.
3 of you are also really completely social animals. You love social activity. You love social interactions. You're open. You're out there. You want to engage with other people. One of you is a little like that, but really, really values time alone.
I like one day where I don't have to talk to people.
I hate being alone.
I also don't like being alone.
It actually came out Eugene. So social to a point, but really value your alone time. It really matters. Zach, maybe you're just alone on Sundays by default. The other thing we look at when we look at you psychologically is we look at your ability to be social and care about each other's feelings as you're doing stuff. And again, 3 of you highly value cooperation and social harmony, but one of you, kind of forceful and aggressive, desires not to please other people, but prefers to lead and not afraid of confrontation.
It's the same guy.
You're wrong.
Oh, really?
It's Ned.
Oh, no!
You said, I think I'd prefer him on the desert island, except he'd frustrate me too much, right? So you're not caring too much about other people's feelings because you're so frustrated and you just want to lead and go forward. Whereas the others are more concerned with social harmony. So even if their idea is not the best way, they might take it.
It's not the best idea. Why are we doing it?
Exactly.
You have a new color of red in your face.
We are just having the best of times. What's next?
Let's start to look at your neurochemistry from a biological level. We need you to spit into a test tube.
We're going to spit in a tube.
For science.
This is a lot of instructions for spitting in a tube.
A collection of human DNA. Is this going to the government?
As a scientist, please look away.
Okay, so I'm gonna spit until it gets to this line.
I missed with my liquid. Seems to be a recurring theme for me.
Did I give too much?
That's way too much.
Keith, no!
I was just gonna take a little bit back.
Apparently I have a very wet mouth.
Put this in until it clicks real loud.
We're in.
It just added the science liquid to my spit. It's blue now.
I wonder what this is.
Now I shake it for 5 seconds. 1, 2,
Shake
3,
that spit. Shake the
4, 5. Smells like science.
Now we're gonna send it off to a lab and see who we're the most compatible with.
First gene we look at is oxytocin, the bonding hormone. We're looking at who's a thinker and who's a listener. What listeners are really good at is interpreting emotions, whereas the thinkers are better at decisive action.
Just charge into the breach, don't give a fuck.
And we found out that 2 of you are thinkers and 2 of you are listeners. Ned and Keith, the thinkers. Eugene and Zach, the listeners.
Makes sense.
And Eugene and Zach probably think that these guys aren't listening to you.
We think we're good listeners, but we're actually not.
No, you are actually listening to them.
No, we are
They're
listening.
just not
It's just
aware of
we've
it.
heard your argument for the last hour and we're tired of it.
Exactly.
A lot of emotions. I'm very conflicted. I just want to find love here.
So the next gene we want to look at is the dopamine receptor D4. And it has to do with motivation, attention, learning. And I found something really interesting in your guys' genetic profile here. The 7R plus gene only makes up less than 30% of the population. Highly represented in CEOs and high-ranking executives. Ned, Keith, and Zach all have the Explorer 7R plus dopamine gene.
We're rare?
You're rare.
We're the minority?
That's not because we're white straight males though, right?
No, we didn't look at the genes surrounding race.
We're a minority.
White straight men being CEOs is crazy.
I think you're a good balance to all of them because it makes you very judicious and very prudent and more careful. These guys are going to more likely charge forward and go, whoa, 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 we could get killed doing that.
You are always the person right before we shoot to be like, is this the best way we can do this?
Because you're surrounded by another alpha male, actually Ned, that's making you be a little more dominant than you normally would or that's normally comfortable to you. Because genetically, that's not how you're wired.
I grew up with 2 alpha sisters, and I was always the judicious one.
Sometimes you run with dogs, you might get bit.
We also looked at another kind of dopamine gene. We look at the warrior, the fighter, right, versus the worrier. So the warrior tends to be highly, highly creative, but really lousy at multitasking. The worrier, a hard time dealing with anxiety, and gets more pleasure out of life. So where do you think you guys land?
Gosh, I think I'm really creative and I worry all the time.
Generally when I work on a project, nothing else matters.
Warrior sounds cooler, so certainly we all want to be that one.
Warriors have more enjoyment in life.
Are we evenly divided, 2 and 2?
It's 2 and 2.
You all have the same.
Are we all fighters?
We're all
You're
fighters.
all warriors.
Yeah!
You guys are all lousy, lousy multitaskers.
That's why we have 4 try guys.
The next gene is my absolute favorite. This test can actually predict hot, passionate sex that will last a really long time. So listen to this. Back in our anthropological past, when you were out mating in the environment, you wanted to find somebody who had a very different immune system than you. Because when 2 people mate, they might take brown eyes from one, long legs from another, poorer eyesight from one, etc. Except immune systems, they actually combine and make a stronger human being. There's been some research in same-sex platonic friendships that show that you want immune systems to be similar. So you smell like each other's brothers.
Yeah, that'd be distracting if I'm always trying to fuck Zach.
Yeah, it would be.
Yes, it would be Ned.
Funny you should mention Zach, Ned. An 80% similarity in your immune systems.
So we
Really close.
So your wife would probably be super attracted to me.
Exactly. At least for sex, yes. You'd probably have great sex with his wife.
Yeah.
So if it's about hot sex, I want to choose the most disparate or different immune systems, and that would be Eugene.
So we would fuck each other like hard. There is a lot of sexual tension here. He denies it. That's only more proof.
Looking at all of the genes, looking at your psychological test, I can tell you who the most compatible are and who the absolute least compatible are. Least compatible are not surprisingly sitting the furthest away from each other, Ned and Eugene.
Is it because we're both too dominant?
Yes, and your relationship could actually benefit from the two of you softening your need for dominance.
sometimes like.
Shut the fuck up.
There are two people here who are most compatible.
I think I'm the most compatible with Zach.
Keith and I are actually in love.
Keith and I are most compatible when it comes to sociability.
Zach's kind of my boy though.
What a good guy Ned is.
Zach and I have already given up on humanity.
I'd fuck the hell out of Ned.
The most compatible couple here could have a long, healthy, happy relationship. And we could predict with more than 80% reliability that you'll be friends for years and years and years. Ned and Zach.
Me and Zach! Oh,
The degree of compatibility we see psychologically, we only see usually in really long-term married couples.
we can be married!
I'm Ned's wife now.
I guess I'm right. I am the dead body on the island.
You're the one that keeps us together.
You don't have an extreme to make it a match with anybody. You just get along with everybody.
They all think I'm their best friend.
Biology is not destiny, neither is psychology. It is the interaction of both. And remember, our biggest environment that affects our biology are our close relationships.
So you're saying, even though the genetics tell us we should be compatible with one person, we can choose to all be friends anyway.
Don't try and force that resolution.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you like this and are hungry for more, check out Squad Wars. You can get it for 30 days for free. This week, Ned and I join up with 2 squads to become professional wrestlers. And we almost die.
All I learned today is that Zach secretly wants Ned's wife.
What is going on here? That wasn't the takeaway for me.